Hello everyone! Today we're going to take a look at USS Massachusetts. Now we already tested this ship a while back. Back then it was almost an Alabama clone. Wargaming decided that's boring, so they are now testing something different. Keep in mind this ship is still a work in progress and all stats are subject to change. So what did they do to the Massachusetts? Also, I'm currently here in a tier 8 battle with only one destroyer and a low tier carrier, and its domination on both sides. But anyway, back to this ship. So they increased the secondary range. It now has a base range of 7.5, I think, and with the captain skill and the module, you are up to 10.0 secondaries. That's nice, because, well, secondaries can be fun. The secondaries aren't that strong, but they help a little bit. Now, they also decrease the sigma value, so this ship is less accurate, and you wouldn't know it from this shot, but well, broadside cruiser, I guess it still works. But yes, they make this ship less accurate, and this was a lucky dispersion on my part. Now I've played like 5 battles in this changed Massachusetts, and so far the accuracy has been treating me okay. But keep in mind that you are less accurate than a North Carolina or an Alabama. And this is also because they just wanna get this ship close and into brawling, and well, if you are less accurate, then you are less likely to just snipe at range, in theory, I suppose. So far we are keeping with the brawling theme and the heal. They reduce the cooldown of the heal, so you can, well, somewhat spam those heals, I suppose. You still don't have more charges, so you aren't healing overall. You aren't healing more in the battle overall, but you can get through your heals more quickly. And now comes the really bad part. They screwed with the damage control party. Your damage control party lasts 10 seconds longer, but it has a 2-minute cooldown. So it's active for 30 seconds, and then it has a 120-second cooldown. And think about it. It means when you press that damage control button, it's 2.5 minutes until you can press that button again. 2.5 minutes is an eternity. If somebody hits you with a torpedo, they don't have to stagger their torpedoes or pull the damage control or something else. They just launch another salvo when their torpedoes are reloaded, and they'll catch you off guard because the damage control is most likely still cooldown. And fires, I mean, in this battle I never got that many fires on me, so in this battle my damage control didn't matter. But as I said, I've played I think like 5 battles with this modified version, and the damage control, it's just such a huge disadvantage. It makes you wanna sit in the back line and not expose yourself. Because once you press that damage control button, for 2.5 minutes you are just like 3 damage for every fire spamming ship in the game. So basically they decide everything around brawling except the damage control. They made a damage control that wants you sit at 20 kilometers and not show your face, and that's just really sad. Now so far this battle isn't looking that great, I suppose. We are already down 1 destroyer, and we only had 1. We still have the decap, so I guess that's nice. And we have a huge force here pushing towards B. Not really a common tactic, I suppose, but I guess with little destroyers they decided that this is the easiest point to push without a destroyer. Maybe they'll succeed, they won't. Now I've already gone through 2 heals so far. I'm pretty sure I'll go through my 3rd. I've already accumulated like 1.1 million potential damage. So, I mean, the tanking part seems to work just fine so far. Also, I guess with the short heal cooldown and the huge damage control cooldown, you're basically the wet dream of everybody who sets you on fire. Because you can't just get rid of the fires, all you can do is heal against them. So you're basically well, a treasure trove of experience for enemy fire starters. And keep in mind that, well, I mean, this is still a test ship, so nobody knows how bad the damage control is yet. If they figure that out, oh boy, you're going to be in trouble. But well, I mean, it's still a test ship, so let's hope it changes. Now, as I said, the Sigma, I mean, the Sigma is 1.7, I suppose, so the accuracy of this ship shouldn't be all that great. So far, it hasn't been a huge problem, but mostly because I'm just trying to get close. I mean, if you shoot ships in 8 kilometers, your guns will treat you fairly decently. They can be trollish at times, but every battleship is trollish at times. And as I said, so far, I didn't have huge problems with it. It has been not a great experience on longer ranges. But then again, if they really want to make this into a brawler, I could live with this Sigma. What I can't really live with is the damage control. Because when you get close to the enemy, that means you don't really have the option to drop into concealment. Your concealment is 12.4. So also not the best. This is with Concealment Expert and the module. And when your damage control is on cooldown, you kind of need to disengage at times. You gonna make sure that you aren't getting hit by a torpedo or by multiple fires when your damage control isn't ready. And this all means that you don't want to be that close towards the enemies. So, kind of a big screw up there with damage control. This damage control lasts 10 seconds longer. I see that almost as a disadvantage again, because it's another 10 seconds until I can use it again. And how often are you really going to profit from a 10-second extended damage control duration? Now I was hoping this Kutuzov would actually show me more broadside. Unfortunately he did not. He's now deploying his smoke. I'm not sure why he isn't his smoke right now. And it looks like while he was careful to angle before, he is now carelessly showing more broadside. So let's see, how bad is my dispersion? Well, guess I'm getting pretty lucky here. He unfortunately is not getting so lucky. So, as you can see, the dispersion can work, but then again, I mean, no matter how bad your stats are, there is still luck involved, and I was getting quite lucky in this game. So I guess it's time for my big battleship to go cap, because, well, nobody else do it. Then again, looking pretty good for us. I mean, we've lost the decap, but we have taken their spawn. We are still one ship ahead. We don't have a destroyer anymore. But yeah. So, back to the Massachusetts. Well, I feel like if they don't change damage control, this will be a horrid mess. But you know, it's a work in progress, so let's hope they do something. I can live with all the other stats. I can live with the bad accuracy. If they actually just give you the normal damage control, I think this ship has some potential. But come on, like 2.5 minutes. If you eat the torpedo and you gotta repair the flooding, you're just so screwed. You're even screwed against one destroyer. I mean, if it's German destroyer with their not so long cooldown, and I've encountered German destroyers in this thing, it's just like you. No torpedo barrel in the world will protect you from this. Now I've launched my plane here a little while back in order to spot the Tuang He, and while I wasn't able to take him down, he was briefly spotted and somebody came out, so that worked nicely. We aren't doing so well ship-wise right now, I suppose. We caught up to us. But we are doing pretty fine cap-wise. Now the enemy destroyer decided to hunt our carrier, which is amazing for us, because, well, I mean, at first it's only a low-tier carrier, and then again, if he spends all of his time hunting a carrier and lets us just accumulate that many points, that's pretty good. I mean, Z-23 is a great cap contester, and he's the only destroyer in the battle right now. And he is throwing away all those advantages. So basically that Z-23 is doing all in his power to make sure his team loses. Let's see if he'll succeed with the tactic. But anyway, we are in a brawling ship and we encounter a Bismarck, so let's go brawl. Now, of course, my hit points aren't that great. I only have 1 heal left. And on the even more negative side, we have a Colorado who is coming this way and who sees a little bit too much of my broadside. And he is going to use that. So I already should be turning hard towards the left, because this Colorado is just going to wreck me. But I'm too greedy and I wanted to use my rear guns on the Bismarck as well. Now also you can see the secondaries just aren't delivering. You can see the volume of fire that's incoming from the Bismarck, and you can see what my secondaries are doing. And it's just not that overwhelming. Now also I'm on fire here. Honestly, I should damage control that. I'm really wary of pressing that button in this ship. But I'm not getting out of this alive anyway. It doesn't matter if I have a fire at the end of this. Because, I mean, at the end of this I'll be at the bottom of the ocean. So now I used it and it was just in time, because it allowed me to survive with 35 hit points for a few seconds and get off 1 last volley. So I did quite a bit of damage against the Bismarck, but the Massachusetts just isn't the most effective brawler in its tier, and with that damage con, I'm feeling like I'm repeating myself, but you see, this damage control left a lasting impression on me. It's words fail to describe how bad this is in high tier battles where you are so often set on fire and not being able to damage con those. At the beginning of a match it looks great because you have such a low heal cooldown that you just keep healing. And then after like the first 10 minutes you're out of heals and you realize that just how really bad it is. So anyway, we are 1 ship behind, but we have a map dominance. And I think we'll just skip to the results, because we won this thanks to our valiant ship still alive who carried us to victory. Now here we are with some results. Did quite well experience-wise. The Mogami, the George and the Fiji, the 3 ships who actually survived and carried us to victory, also did pretty well, so shout out to those. Now I didn't earn any achievements because test ships cannot earn achievements, otherwise I'd have like 2 devastating strikes here. So you see, RNG treated me quite fairly with my accuracy. As I said, the Massachusetts isn't so bad if you get close, and this whole ship themed around getting close, and then they threw in a damage control that does punish you very hard for getting close. So yeah, this ship is sending a bit mixed signals and what it wants you to do. So I also tanked like about 2.5 million potential damage, which is nice. But overall this ship is just a little bit of a mess, it feels like. You see, rolling in itself at higher tiers isn't that easy because the gameplay is so passive. Try to make an aggressive move, you might just get obliterated. Now what you need to make an aggressive move is to deal with all the high tier fire spammers, and you really can't in this ship. Often you also see like tier 10 battles, and as a tier 8 in a tier 10 battle you have to be even more careful. So the times when you can actually make some brawling work are very few. And this ship just isn't that great of a brawler in the first place. So if you gear everything for brawling and then you aren't that great at brawling, it's kinda sad. The damage control will make you cry once you meet the higher tier fire spammers. Then there is the bad accuracy, and I mean, it's still a work in progress. Let's hope they do something with it, and let's see what they came up with. Now I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time.